Hello, it is Lord Haywire. I'm streaming some 2D4X, which is a 2D4X post-apocalyptic game that I'm creating with C Sharp and Godot. So this C Sharp Godot thing here, I'm clicking. Oh man, I don't know why OBS. It was just an update. OBS had an update and it started jumping over to the other screen when I minimize and make it come back. Oh, now my music stopped. That's weird. Let's make sure that is working. Let's make sure everything is working right because that was weird. Anyways, you guys can't hear my music. I don't want to deal with the whole copyright issue and YouTube and all that, even though YouTube is much more lax compared to Twitch. Anyways, so this is our like starting area. It's going to take place in all of North America, but currently we're only doing Oregon and one county in Washington. The things that we've been working on, that's what we're looking at here. This is a project that I have in GitHub that has the things that we're working on. It's got a bunch of shit in it. See pages and pages of stuff, notes and things. This was something I was working on last time. And at the end of the stream, there was a bug, and it wasn't that there was a bug. It just I didn't like how it was written actually, so I rewrote it offline because I was like halfway done, and I wanted to call it a day streaming. I usually stream for about 3 hours, and I've streamed pretty much I would say 99% of all of the code for this game has been streamed as I learn. I started on Unity and switched to Godot, but so I think this is done. I tested it very briefly, and it seemed to work. It was kind of hard to tell. We'll keep an eye on it, though. And then the next thing we're on here is research. We already have some research. If I click on the right thing, we have this research going, and you can click on it. We can assign a researcher, Angela Hughes, and then they will research, and it has them up here. If we close this, it should. Actually, I'm not sure. We've changed a bunch of stuff, but let's go back to our research. Yeah, so it's adding in the percentage, so it is still working. I wasn't sure. We're going to rewrite some of this, but one of the main things that we're going to need to do that it just dawned on me right before I started streaming was that one of the things we get when you research this, you now have a new building that you can make called a researcher's office. And once that's built, we need to make it so that the population. So there's actually a couple of things. We need to do that where we make it so that how it currently works is only your heroes can research. And there's 2 different types of population. Well, 3, including armies. But your heroes can only research. That's why I said Angela Hughes here, is because that's the hero for this faction, and this faction only has one hero. They can only they're the only one who can research. But once the researcher's office is done, your normal population, which is these people, can this works. We're researching basic researching. We'll be able to assign one person to the office. Well, they will actually pick if they want to do that. We probably need to, and I'm going to put this if I don't already have it. I don't think I do. Let's just add this in here. Prioritize button. So people will choose to work at a county improvement, and county improvements they're called county improvements, but they're buildings generally. Maybe they get paid more. Currently, the economy in this game is not. It's supposed to be after an apocalypse, so the economy is more of a gathering of friends than a real economy, but there's going to be a point in the game where you can switch over to a real economy, and that's part of the whole deal here. I forgot I usually post a hello on YouTube. just to make sure that it is working, and it is. Sometimes it doesn't. My thing that brings the chat over doesn't work. It's really hard to read there. I should make this a little darker, but whatever. I'm pointing. I'm pointing on the other monitor. This probably needs to be a little darker, this background, but whatever. Unimportant right now. Maybe I'll do that later. So, man, why does my music keep stopping? Let me go back to this. My computer, I can hear the fans going. It's crazy how that need to take it outside and shoot it now, and clean out the fans again. For some reason, this computer has always had issues with dust gathering inside. It's pretty insane how often I have to do that, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. Anyways, so we have this list. We're trying to get to this next round. Next round means that, so I'm kind of circularly going through each item on the list, which is over here too. Circularly going through each thing that could be in the game and improving it. I've already done one full loop, except for I haven't done a faction level thing. But that will actually come up soon. And so we just need to get done with this part here, and then we move to the next thing, and we move to the next thing, which some of these like are already done. And it looks like research is next. We're always on research. Research is like this thing that every time we add in a thing to research, a new research item, it changes mechanics throughout the game. So we'll be back to that soon. I say we when I'm talking, when I'm streaming here, because a lot of times chat will help me, like things I don't know. Look at that. That works down there. I didn't even know that was a thing. Anyways, so let's get into this shit. Let's first look back at our list here. I just added a couple of things, and let's decide what order we want to do these in. Currently, the people just research forever, even if it runs out, so that's why that's there. Let's change this. So each research item is a resource in Godot. Malo. It doesn't feel like it, but it definitely sounds like it. Like, yeah, normally I can't hear it at all with my headset and music playing, but I can actually hear the slight hum of it. Man, the thing is dusty, but yeah. So resource, we got a resource here, and what I did with this resource is we have a checkbox so we can have it already researched. So let's do that. Let's restart this. Which means, so we're going to have to basically, this is going to be kind of a pain in the test. That's what I'm coming up with lately, is that, yeah, so this is done, and we have basic production done. Whoops, we got a bug. Which bug is it, though? Is it this weird bug that always happens? There's a bug that appears every once in a while. And I think it's this one. Yeah, I think it is. I wish I could figure out exactly what was causing it. I have different theories, but it doesn't happen frequently enough to really matter. It doesn't affect anything either. Yeah, now it's gone again. So this will allow us to build a researcher's office. It's kind of a lot of a construction for testing. Oh, that's what I was talking about, is as I make the game more complicated, the testing of it is becoming more of a pain in the ass. Like I have to run things for 5 minutes. Let's switch this from amount of research to or of construction to 10, so we'd have to wait so long for it to be built once we build it. So this will be, so we should now, if everything is working right, is have a new thing on here. So now we can build this researcher's office. So that should be the first thing. Let's actually just run. I was going to say we should just jump into the code, but let's see what actually happens, what our choices are. I think it's just going to, workers will just ignore currently how things are set up. So let's build this thing. And speed it up to 8 here. Okay, so we have 1 worker's correct. Uh-oh. This is not, what do we got here? Given key was not present. County data 3 check for preferred work. County data 3. This thing's getting. I keep trying to figure out, like, I need to break this into like 2 or 3 different things because it's getting out of control. Check for resource storage full. What? That is not what I thought it would be something resource related. I wonder if this building, what does this building produce? Worker skill. Well, let's restart it and not do that and see if we get the same bug. I did mess with some stuff. I didn't mess with storage, though. I messed with storage while I was streaming, but not afterwards. Let's just run this for a second here. Let's let a day go by. Yeah, so I think it might be related to that research building. I'm just building something else. Let's see. Those people are still building. And it is completed. We have 5 workers. Yeah, so it looks like it is related to this I don't have enough. I don't have enough influence to build another building. I could give myself more influence. Not while the game's running, though. I should probably, I was thinking about this, having like a developer panel where we could just push buttons and add things. Probably I should put that on my list. So let's see if this happens again with the researchers panel. I bet you it's trying to produce a resource that doesn't exist. Yeah, I think that's what it's doing. Because it's research, it doesn't produce. Just making sure I got the same. Yeah, so what is this thing producing? None and none. So we need to put a check in here that it doesn't, to check to make sure that this, because I bet you what it's doing. Yeah, so it's checking the county improvement for this resource, and its resource is none. So that's the problem here, but that's not that big of a deal. What we can do is we can go and we should probably put this first. We're checking county resource type. Yeah, let's put this first. County resource type. Come on. Come on. How many? Okay, we got a lot. County resource type is not equal to, get the fuck out of here, to all county resources. No. All enums county resource type, none. And, whoops. What do we got here? I deleted the... we does not contain and no accessible method. We used it right here. Oh, I only got part of it. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, because so this was checking the storage for the things that this is producing to see if people want to work there, and there's probably another spot actually. where this is going to be a problem. So this is checking for their preferred work. We're also going to need to um, add in a new thing for what their interests are, each county population. Um, there's another one called something work. Oh, of course. You know what I could search for is this thing. I was just thinking maybe, no, that won't work. Here we go. This is the same thing, and it was. Copy this over. I guess I could have brought the whole thing. All right. So the county resource is not equal to none. I think I hit save on there. I hope I did. It's be kind of a pain to get this office to work once the research is built, because we're gonna have to like put it in as if it was a person. I mean, it won't be the end of the world. You see that spinning thing? The spinning wheel. Okay, let's go up to 8. Okay, so then we got a different bug, or maybe the same bug. Oh, it's probably trying to produce the none. County population AI 92. I bet you it's trying to produce the bug now, or produce the resource. If their activity is set to work, so I think part of the issue is, what is this? This is green. Let's look at, Wanda is working at a researcher's office. They're not working. Why would Wanda, it must have been Wanda's preferred work, must be a research. But it shouldn't be work. She should be, the activity should be research, I think. Yeah, it should be research. Actually, that's kind of an interesting thought here. So they are working at the research office. What is that? How's that going to affect this thing over here? I think we want it to actually be work. So let's look at something. I just want to see what this one's done. Mary looks like here. I think we're going to want it to say that they're working at the researcher's office. I think that's, so that we'll want that to look like that. We just need to put in a check. County data, county resources. So we're adding in this generated thing. Man, this also needs a refactor. Like, some of this stuff looks and works pretty nice, but there's other stuff that really just has issues with how it's set up. So let's go back to this thing, and what we'll do, see how like this is getting very convoluted. This whole switch is very convoluted. Yeah, this is going to need to be rewritten, obviously. I'm just going to keep making it worse here. Do we know? We do know that. Okay, so we're just going to do the same thing for now, but we're going to do it from here. If county population, so it checks every single person in the world here. If it's not equal to none, then we do this. And I'm going to put in, I'm trying to make better comments as well because I've noticed lately that the comments are shitty. So if the county improvements that the worker is, this isn't going to work. Oh no, I guess it might. We'll see. If the county improvement that the worker is working at doesn't produce resources, oh shit, that's not gonna work either. I mean, this will work, but we want it to produce. We want them to do a skill check. So what we should do instead is we need to change this. We need to add a new resource type, which is, yes, actually, this is going to be a long-term improvement. It just dawned on me. We'll set the county resource type to none, and the faction resource type we'll set to research. And what we'll have is because we have faction level resources and we have county level resources. So this is influence, this little ugly speech bubble. This is money. These two things are faction level. So your faction has influence and resources. These ones over here are county levels. Each county has those. And if you click on these, actually, we got to close this. This gives you the total that your faction has if you're not clicked on anything. And then this gives you how much each county has. But this is different. So basically what I'm saying is that if we build a building that has no county level thing, but it produces faction level stuff, we need to have that built into the game because there are going to be buildings that produce money and buildings that produce, well, kind of produce money, and buildings that produce influence, and the thing we're working on right now, buildings that produce research. So let's fix that. It's going to make this much more complicated, but I mean, that's pretty much what I've been doing, is just making everything is going to be much more complicated. We're about to fuck something up. Oh, actually, we're not. Yes, we are. Research is going to be I like these alphabetical. Wait. R, LMNOPQR, whoops. Wrong hotkey there. We are not going to fuck something up. We're going to go like that. We're going to go back to our researcher's office. We're going to build this. We're going to build it. Man, I hung out with a friend last night and we talked so much my fucking throat hurts. I usually just sit. The only time I talk so much is when I'm streaming. Faction resource type. Faction resource type. Why did you not build? Did I not save this? It says it's saved. There's no comma at the end here. I think that's the problem. Some water. I just didn't need to do that though. There we go. Let's double check these things because I did change some stuff around. Building material, food, vegetables. Warehouse produces nothing. We'll have to deal with that later. It actually produces storage, but it's not. I don't think we want to do it that way, but we might have to put in maybe a hidden one for the way we're doing this. Uh, so at the county level, we have that check that says none. Man, we're gonna have to rewrite this little part right here. I think just make it prettier. This is just for testing. And keep working. I think we can keep that, but like this skill data just like thrown in the middle here is kind of strange. And we can check it from the actual skill, like this thing. Maybe we should, but the problem with that is that it's going to make this ugly. That's pretty much the only reason. But we probably could put this skill thing up here at the top. And I also was kind of getting rid of this population AI thing, but what's happening is if I get rid of more of this, I'm just adding to this county data or the county population, which both of those are getting like massive. I kind of wish I hadn't fixed those one things. So if this is not, so we do need to do this. So let me think this through here. So we have the county improvement is the county resource is none. We do want to generate work resource with skill check. What is this? So this is returning an amount with a skill check. We could just put in a county one that's research. It doesn't actually matter. Then this number would come back and we would apply that number though to this amount. So that's not going to really work. This is applying it to the county resources. So we need to, let's write like a new method here called generate work or something. I have that in the banker. The banker we're definitely getting rid of. The banker's almost completely gone. Okay, I could take that back. It's still got a lot. I think the banker is also not a public. Oh, I changed it to a public class. Good. All right, so maybe we'll leave this in the banker because it should be here, but I think this is 700 lines long. And like I said, that's kind of out of control at this point. Yeah, it's 750 lines long. So each time I usually start a stream, I say I hope that I'm planning on merging to main at the end of the stream, and I've been saying that for like the past like 10 streams. Because now I know that each one of these, like assign a research. Well, it's supposed to say researcher to research office is actually like a huge endeavor to change how the code is because of little things like this where it's like, oh shit, we didn't prepare for any of this crap at all. But yes, let's make a method here that is going to be called we can just call it work. Where do we want to put this? I guess we can put it in the population AI for now. What are we accessing here? We are going to be this thing we can kind of ignore. Well, we'll put it in the work thing. So we're getting the county population and we're adding to the county data. So basically the rules that I've been following, and I don't know if they're correct, is when a variable is getting messed with, that's where these methods need to go. So like the variable that we're messing with here, we're actually changing is the amount on these skills. So this work thing should be inside of county data. But once again, county data is getting kind of out of control. So we could put this in the banker. I used to have a new banker up here so that we could access this stuff, but I started moving everything out, and now the thing is out of control, like I was saying. Let's put this work in the banker. We're going to have to pass in the county population. Let's see. Do we know what faction it is? We do. I thought we did. Yeah, we'll have to pass in a county population. And I shouldn't have generated it in this one, but it doesn't matter. We'll just copy and paste it. County population. And I should rename this just to population. County, we don't need the word county anymore. This is going to go into the banker. And we'll do a new banker. We'll put it up here. Well, this banker, we were able to do a static one, so maybe we can do this static. Oh, it is static, it thinks. I don't know if we'll be able to pull this off, but no, it can't be static anymore. Oh, it's also private. That's a problem. I think us passing this in will allow us to make it static, but maybe I am wrong. Go away. So we pass this in. We're going to move in this thing to here. And we need the county data. And we need the county data. So I guess we're going to pass in two things. Let's put the county data over here. See if this was inside the county data, like we wouldn't have to do this. Pass this shit in. But I guess it doesn't really matter. Once again, county data. And we're not returning anything. We're just doing it. So then in here, yeah, because this will, I think I gotta keep breaking these apart, even though now we go from county to county data to, or no, we go from county to population AI to banker. It's spaghetti, but I don't know how to do it any better. I wonder why check learning can't be a static one. Oh, it can be. It thinks it can be. Because then we can get rid of some of this crap. Oh, we're going to get some more issues here. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where we could use the actual skill. But see how long it gets, like we're checking so much. But since this is static now, we can just run this straight from skill data and not have, yeah, see we have a new one up here. We can just change this to a capital. Oh, but maybe we can't with this. Let's leave that there for a second and we'll come back to it. We might be able to, this is just check. The fuck is your problem? Oh, it's mad because of that. Let's go to here. Check learning, I mean. check. Can you can't be static. Wonder why? Because we're accessing random or something? I bet you, oh, we're returning bool. I think that's probably, it's actually because of this. Oh, I see why we can't do that. All right. We might be able to fix that. So this is checking directly off the we're passing in the actual skill. Well, actually we're not. Um we're returning a bool. Um I'm gonna put this skill data back so I can click easier. Skill data equals new. So I can do this. Lord Mac, how's it going? Apply attribute bonuses. This is the thing. We're passing in an attribute. But it doesn't, how has this worked at all? It's getting this attribute, but this skill data that we're pulling through, this would be a nothing. Like, I like the idea I was going for here, but this is not gonna work. I mean, it may have worked. This is an enum, so it's probably been defaulting. I don't know how enums default, but I think they default to the first one. So it's probably been passing in the first one for the attribute bonus every time because this is pulling this attribute in here. So we pass in this county population and we get this. Oh, let me ban this person. I mean, they're not a person. They're a bot. Let me ban this bot here. Let me ban the bot. Report the bot. And we're going to put a bot report over here and selling viewers. Submit. Block. Then we got to go ban. There we go. All right. All problems have been solved, at least with that. You know what I'm going to do is I am going to put in a I'm going to see what attribute this thing is doing because maybe this is one of those things where sometimes I just forget how all the code is connected, and then I change something and it doesn't work. The change doesn't work the way I think it should work. So let's see what this attribute is passing in. I bet you it is. My guess is going to be that it is going to be agility every time. Well, we got other problems here because I changed this check learning too. This can just be this though. This is a quick fix. This is in combat. We got to do something about those elite or those obsolete things that I put there as a test. Not really both a test and whatever. Let this run for a second. Need a couple of days going. All right, we have a bazillion. Yeah, it's agility. So that was bugged the whole time. It's supposed to be testing intelligence, I believe. The way we could do that, let's just make it a static one and we'll work around what we got here. We got other things here. Was that population AI, check learning? That was just check. And then here, apply attribute bonus. So this would have worked. Okay, this is what I just did, I think. Or not just did, but this is what we would have to do to make that work. Is there a way for me to make it? We can pass in the attribute. That would be the better way to do that. So let's actually go back to this thing, and we'll pass in the attribute that we're doing. We'll say and that should, I'm in the wrong place, aren't I? Yes, I sure am. Cut that. Go back to, what the fuck was that? That was in the banker. See, there's so many things everywhere. See, this would work if we did it directly from the skill that we're doing it in, but that's not what we want. And I think that was my thought process. But then I did the new one. It was a new skill data. We would have to, yeah, so we could do it that way. But I want to make this static. And we can't make this static. And I guess I don't have to make this static. Man, I'm going to have to remember if that's the way I'm doing it. I have to put a note on here. I can put the summary thing on here. I totally could do that. So there's two different options here. I wish there was less options. I wish there was a way that it was just, always had the correct thing. So this should actually be county population, skill. It would be a big long thing. Or we can pass in the attribute and make it static. We wouldn't need this new skill data thing. Let's pass in the attribute, I think. It's on my clipboard, right? So might as well use it. That'll take care of that. Then we go back to all of these broken things and we apply the attribute. What the fuck are we checking here? So this, let's go back to here, wherever the fuck this is. Go to your check. Oh, you don't like me anymore. And then this, I think we can make static now. And then we can go back to here we can go make this a skill data. I'm probably doing something fundamentally wrong here, but check to see if they want the resource. So what the fuck are we checking here? Possibly using resource. Possibly use a resource. Check to see if they want to check to see if they want the resource, and check if there's enough. Why? What are we checking though? We're making a skill check. Possibly use resources. People using resources. We're passing in a list. This is supposed to check enough of a resource. Needs check passed. This is supposed to be checking a needs. Yeah, their needs. I don't think this was going to work right either. Because needs currently, it's a list, but there's just one need in it right now. It's remnants. In fact, I'm going to put a note in here. Currently, it is just one. There's just one need. Remnants. I think I spelled that right for the first time ever. So this, okay. All right. Now that I've looked at this, check to see. No, this is a bad comment. Let's make this better. Go through all of their needs and see. We're skill checking against it, and skill check against it, and if they fail, they use the need. Use the resource that is needed. All right, go through all of their needs, skill check against, and if they fail, they use the resource. I believe. What does this say? See if they want the resource. Skill check equals true. Need check passes. And if they pass. Okay, so what that is like their needs slowly going to go up. And then once it, and they're going to check, but it's only going to go up every once in a while. So when it finally goes up enough that they want to use it, they use it, etc., etc. So we're passing in this needs, check to see if they want the resource. So we need to do this. We need to pass in the tribute. This is the resource that, yeah, this is a resource type, county resource type. The needs is a what? It's a dictionary of county resource type. So we don't actually know the attribute that is getting checked for their tribute bonus. So that's a whole new thing that it would have been hitting agility this whole time. So for this, for their needs, the tribute should be willpower. But it should be negative their willpower. So the more willpower they have, the less the need they want. This is kind of fun, but also kind of strange how we're having to do this. We did that as a resource type. I'm thinking we also could. I think mental strength is better, but it needs to be a negative mental strength, which means means we need to check. Um, check to see if they want the resource. So if their needs go up, it's set up like a skill. It's not a skill, but it's set up like a skill so that we can do checks like this. So as it goes up, as the percentage goes up, that means they need it more. That makes sense. I'm just making sure that the logic behind it isn't like some weird, we're fail passing or something. Uh, so that does make sense, but we need a negative. So the attribute's going to be county population dot attributes all enums attributes mental strength. This is what we're gonna pass in here. Why are you mad at me? It just wants this. We don't need the county population in here. I just wrote this in a. Okay, so we're just gonna. It's gonna do a mental strength test. Mental weakness. No, we're only gonna have 8 attributes. That'd be too many attributes. So we just need to do it with the opposite. We need to have. So we're gonna go back to our check here, wherever the fuck it is. And we're gonna need to apply attribute bonus. And we're gonna need like a bool in here where we apply the opposite. We just tell it to apply a negative. I think that would be the easiest way, because I know that like each time I do anything, we run into like some new thing that I have to write. But if I think that as we go, if I make it as flexible as possible, I hope works. We'll be able to use it more in each thing. I think part of my problem here is that for some reason I'm under the impression you don't want to be passing through a bunch of shit, but I don't know. I don't have any data to back up why I would think that. Like I have no reasoning behind that. I just think like it's weird to pass through a bunch of shit, but maybe that's normal. I was telling someone else that I wish I could look at like a finished strategy game's code. I want to compare like what my brain thinks to like not a well written finished strategy game. That like EU4 or something. Like I would like to look through their code. I don't know what language it's in though. If it was in like C plus or something, C plus plus, it would be just gibberish to me. I would like to look through a well-made finished C sharp. Even though a C plus plus one, even that would be something to see. Like, so I'm worried about how this being is 700 lines long. For all I know, 7,000 lines might be considered normal in a finished strategy game, and I just don't know that. I mentioned it to my friend that like I feel like all this shit's getting huge, and he didn't give a shit. I guess is the the end of that story. He didn't care. He said, "Oh, just write them smaller." Okay. Um, okay. So back to this thing. We're gonna be back to our skill data. We're gonna make this nice and good. That was in the banker, I think, for some reason. And we're going to be changing this research thing, but we're not in the right spot. Increase research, generate scavenged, check learning. What the fuck was that thing? It was in skill data and then attribute data. So we're going to want a bool in here. Bool negative. And this will say if true, if negative equals true, we'll pass in, we'll make it negative. I don't know how to do that, but we'll ask the internet, make number negative. Convert a positive number to a negative one. It really? That's it? All right. Bonus. Bonus equals, what did that say? Bonus times -1. Jesus Christ. Times -1. Okay, so that should make it, let's put some notes in here as well. You know, we can use that summary thing. Let's use that summary thing. I think it's 3 of these. There we go. Let's use this summary more, too. Holy shit, an hour's passed? Man. Apply a... No, it's not applying anything at this point. Return an attribute bonus int. Return an int that is an attribute bonus. It can be either, it can return a negative or tens or ones. Okay, now we have more bugs here because we did that. So this one should be true. We want to return a bonus, an actual bonus, because we're doing a skill check. No. No, what we want, we need another thing here. Another thing, negative bonus. We need to put bool here. Negative bonus. And then we'll put negative bonus here. And then let's make sure that I just wrote that so that they're not getting the opposite. If negative equals true, negative bonus equals true, that's a negative bonus. All right, so we're in the wrong spot again. What was that under? Attribute. No, that was under population AI. It's somewhere. It's someplace. Let's just go back to this thing. This is not it either, but it's fine. It was right. So this thing, I hope, check to see if they want the resource. So this is the thing where we want this is why we wrote, we're going to put negative bonus as true. I think I put false on that other one. Jesus Christ, now I don't even know. That was under skill check. Data. Let's click this button here. And this button. Okay, here's the one that possibly use resources. No, so this is the one we definitely want a true. We want a negative, so that the mental strength should be helping again. We want to basically, the key to this is we basically want to fail this because we don't want the population to want shit, but they will eventually want shit. So negative bonus their bonus is negatively used. And I guess that's the only one we've used. If I hover over this, let's actually use that summary thing on this too, because I think this is going to be confusing. You know, if I hover over this now, yeah, so like this is that summary that I put in there. I think that makes sense, but we don't. It doesn't say that like what the fuck we're doing with check. So let's actually use that summary thing here. Maybe I'll take a quick break before I do that. I only have 10 errors. That's no big deal, right? Um, and we'll say like we're passing in. There's a bonus applied, so the check needs to. That's why there's this other shit, because it's basically we've added in the past couple of streams we've added these two things, and so before it was just these. In fact, I don't even think it was this. It was just the skill amount is what we were passing in. But then when it was like, oh, we need to know who the county population is for learning and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm going to take a quick break, but then I'm going to write in the summary. That way I can, if later on I'm like, what the fuck is this check? Why are we passing in so much stuff? I can just hover over it and look at it. But let me pause my music that you guys can't hear. And I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Wind, how's it going? the sh- uh, all right, I think I just turned off my break timer. Um, let's see. What were we doing? Oh, yeah, I was going to write this summary, but now I'm in some weird spot. I don't have that many summaries, so. Uh, Summary. Maybe it's not capital. It is not capital. All right, here we go. So we need to have in here, since an attribute bonus is checked, we are passing in an attribute and if the bonus is a negative. Now let's hope that that helps my brain. Checked in this method, comma, I guess. What does this look like when I hover over this? All right, so it does wrap. I was thinking maybe I need to wrap it, but it does wrap automatically. So now we can go and fix all these bugs that I just created. This is going to be, what are we doing? Amount of learning. We want a negative bonus false. And what are we passing in here? What attribute? Okay, we're doing, so this one I did right. This is the only one that I did right, I bet you. The other ones were all checking against agility. The agile people, that's probably why there was, well, no, it wouldn't have mattered. That's random. So this now, we need to pass in two things. We need to check the county improvement data attributes. I guess we don't know the attribute. Sorry, we need to pass in the county populate. Jesus Christ, this is going to be long. We're going to need to go to this whole thing. Actually, this whole line. I wish I could, maybe if I could like shift click, control click, alt click. I don't know what just happened there. I went through because I did alt click. Go back to this. I was hoping I could get this whole line. We want this whole thing. We don't want skill level though, actually. We want, then under here, we want attribute. Then we're gonna go false. And then we still have some other problem, that being that should be now a static one. So this is going to, let's double check what the fuck I just did. This is the county population. This is the skill level. Is this no longer in use? We're passing in the attribute of the work skill, and it's not a negative bonus. We want the real bonus in there. We only have to do this 8 more times. What are we doing here with scavenging? So this is kind of right, except we can just skip this shit. We know it's scavenging. We can just copy this. And we can do this. And go get rid of that thing. And then this, what are we checking here? Increase research amount. So this one, you know, I'm not gonna hard code this actually if I can. I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah, let's move this so this isn't so fucking long on different lines. This is gonna be false. These are almost all gonna be false. In fact, we just encountered the first time that it wouldn't be false, which is why we wrote that. Let's go back to this scavenge one. I passed in, I hard-coded scavenge, but we actually... I guess we don't have a choice there. Yeah, that's the one. We don't have a choice. We gotta hard code that in. I was thinking I'd put it like to whatever they're working at or whatnot. So this is Ad Hero Research. This is one of the things we just ran into. Um, research skill level, research attribute. Like I could hard code this in and say that it was intelligence, but let's say we change that at some point. And then this is going to be false. This is going to be this. This is going to get rid of this. This we're going to, whoops, we're going to save this shit. And then this is where applying a tribute bonus to this thing, we need to pass in the tribute. Was this busted for a while? I think this has been busted for a while. I'm surprised this hasn't caused other issues. The the loyalty, I think this is a 10. Is it a ones? No, it's a 10. And then this, we are doing construction skill. Do we know? No, this one's also hard coded in. So let's copy this thing. Put a comma. Well, go down here and put a comma. And then attribute and false. And then make this a capital S. We're getting there. Check check loyalty with skill check. It's still weird that I have 2 loyalty checks. How did I do this other loyalty check? What was it? What attribute was I using? This should be moved to the resource that loyalty will be a part of once we figure out what category. Oh, yeah. This would be another mental strength one. And then this is going to be false. And then we're going to turn this into a capital S, get rid of this fucking thing. The good thing about this is I find this annoying. So with these new things, what the fuck are we checking here? This is combat. We're looking, we have like some hard-coded rifle skill. That's cool. We're gonna just keep going with that. We're gonna do this thing though. There should be some. That will be. We're gonna go back to combat soon enough. And then false. And then we'll get rid of this. And we'll get rid of this. And we'll make this a capital S. And this is going to be, okay, this is their cool, which we should have an attribute here. I hope. And this is going to be false. Oh, we got to put a tribute back here. And that is fine there. Might as well click on a few of these things. People who need to die. Really? Is read only? I mean, if it says so. I mean, we do things to it. Unnecessary assignment of value to amount of food. Check for scavenging food. Oh, this is for... it looks like this was for just some testing. Unnecessary assignment of value to date and time. Can I just do this? Like what? Why? There we go. What's your problem? Provide. I think I looked at this and it wouldn't wouldn't bring up anything. Oh, it's doing something this time. This is kind of cool. I wish it wasn't so small. I'm trying to make it bigger. It didn't work. Like the text. Who wrote this? These examples? Just some wingnut? Huh. I saw a thing on the No Man's Sky subreddit. They were hypothesizing that news agencies were just taking what people were posting them and turning them into news stories, just like straight from the subreddit of people talking about things in No Man's Sky. So they made a fake post and had people populate it, and then they waited, and then a news story posted this fake bullshit that they made up. Which I thought was kind of interesting that it was so easy to trick the fake, because it's probably like a bot, or maybe I assume there's a human that just assigns their bot to write, because it was like AI written article, and because of that, then once one AI article is written, all the other AI articles start getting written off of it. I don't know if you searched for any news things lately, and like the first 10 top Google things are all basically the same articles, just rewritten slightly. It's so fucking annoying because I can't tell if like things are real or not. So what is this thing's problem? There's no one fact checking each other. They're just all being rewritten. I don't know if I care about this very much. I was just hoping there would be an example that was obvious. You know what we could do? Let's get rid of this. Speaking of AI, is go to ChatGPT here and better in C#. This is a new thing that I did recently, which is give a timestamp to some of these I wrote this so I can put a timestamp on the events that are happening or in the console, because I can't figure out. Sometimes I'm like, what order? I mean, I know the order, but what exact order? So it thinks that this is better. That makes sense. I'm surprised this isn't complaining then. Let's see, what about this guy? Unnecessary assignment of skill data. That's an easy one. You can be marked as static. All of these get marked as static thing. Now that I understand this a little better, we are going to fix these probably. and make them static. Because now that, like I said, we'll do that, but not this second. We're going to leave these ones sitting here. So let's go back to whatever I was doing when I got so sidetracked fixing this other thing. We were going to, what was I doing here? Have the population decide which research they're helping depending on their work and something called interests. So that's something we need to add to our county population, but that actually wasn't what I was doing. I was doing something else. Let's rerun this and make sure. There was a variety of issues, minor issues that I think have been fixed. So if one was that we wanted the, well, let's just run it and we'll see when the bugs come up. I think what we need to do here is this county improvement needs to be built immediately. And then we'll see our issues pretty much right away. We'll see if we get this bug too. There was a bug like on day 2 or 3 or something. Okay, so that's fixed. Oh, it's coming back to me what I was doing. So we have this researcher here. This person is working at the research office, and that was kind of part of the problem. So we need to go back to population AI, I believe. I don't remember what this stuff is, so I'm going to delete it because that's how I do this now. We were on this. We're fixing this work thing because it's, I mean, I just moved it to the banker. I don't know. We probably could put this check for learning inside this thing as well. But let's double check what we're doing here because I don't think this is right still. Yeah, this is not right. Let's put this in here too so that I, just in case I get sidetracked again. Some county improvements need to generate, I feel like I just wrote this. Nope. Some county improvements need to generate faction level resources. That's it. That's the whole thing. It doesn't work right now. And research is a faction level resource. We probably should put it on the top bar, how much research points you're generating, how many people are researching. We'll put that for the next round over here on the top bar. Show how many people are researching in the top bar. Include both heroes and people working at research offices. And we'll just leave this down here. And then back to this work thing. So the workaround I did was, if this is this, then it's just going to generate resources with a skill check. Yeah, why does it say banker there? Because I moved this thing over. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to have an and in here. We need to go and this thing, it's almost the same, but we want faction resource type. So if both things, get the fuck out of here. We got this wrong here is the problem. So if the county improvement does neither one of these two things, it then generates the resources. So if it doesn't produce any county or any faction, it does this. But then we're going to need an else if man, let's write this like shit. Let's write this like shit, and then we'll have ChatGPT take a look at it. Okay, so if this one is equal to research, then we're going to have it do something else. We're going to have it generate the problem with having ChatGPT look at stuff like this is it's probably will tell me a better way to do it, but it's not going to tell me like a higher level suggestion. Like, it's not going to say, instead of doing this, you could just have the county improvement do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's so if the county population, county improvement equals research, then we need to add a research amount, et cetera, et cetera. But we are going to get that number from, so there's a couple of things that are going to go wrong here. Right now, we're going to just do this. We're going to GD print. Let's put a $sign here. County population, first name. Whoops, we need a squigs. Is pointlessly researching. It's pointlessly working at a research office. So right now, this is not going to be right. But that will tell us where we can find it again. Let's make sure, I know I did this earlier, but let's make sure that this is set. Research, none, building, food, stuff. Okay. And so the warehouse is going to be the thing. And then let's put in final else in here. And so we'll say GD print. County population, first name, squigs, is working at some place that is producing nothing. All right, so we'll have two checks for this basically. I was thinking about maybe putting this in the event log, but I don't think we want all that flooding with the event log. It's fine in the console. So what we need to do, our next issue that we need to like write code for is resource generation amount, research bonus. So this actually works. I wasn't sure if I had this filled out. It looks like we're doing 5.2, 10.5. We may not want to have this so that every single county improvement has its own amount of resource generation, but we're not going to fuck with that right now. So what we need to do is we need to, before we do any of this shit, we need to make it so that with the research office, you select the research you're going to do. So that's a big deal because that's going to be a kind of a huge change to how everything works and sort of. Um, this is where this is next. I spelled generate wrong. Looks like a typo. Sign in a research to the research office. Let's look at how is this thing done. So we could put it here where you click on something and you pick from a list, but I think that kind of sucks. Let's look at this. Let's say we went to here. I think what we should do is have it on this list. So basically, when you click assign research, well, that's weird. There will say research office. And then at the top, so when we assign this guy, it has him up here. It should also say research office. Because we don't care about the people's names of the, I mean, we do care, but we don't care about the people's names at the research office. So that is going to be under, and I actually think I opened this up right before I started streaming. Because I was thinking about this like 10 seconds before I started streaming. Generate assigned researchers. Check for researchers. Let's do this in a different order, actually. Let's go to, the first thing is going to be, where was this? This is under research. You click, it's under the description panel. Nope, that one's done. Oh, we don't have any more researchers. This is under the description panel. So let's look at the description panel here. This is where we're going to start this process. We're going to look. Shit. How did we do this? Select researcher, assign researcher, on visibility change, update, assign researcher, menu button. That's probably it. What's this other thing? If the county improvement data's length is greater than 0, research. Oh, I think, yeah, that's this other thing. That's this. Why don't I just call it something and move it? This is assign county improvements. That's it. Oh, come on. And then this will go here. And then we can get this out of here. And so assign researcher menu button. Oh, this is okay, so this actually isn't as weird as I thought it might be. So what this is doing is it goes through every county that the hero's in, because they can research without a research building. That's kind of like their special ability. I don't know where they're doing it. They're doing it on their bathroom while they sit on the toilet or something. So for this, it's going to go through every county, and it's going to go through the hero list. But then we also need it to go through the county improvement data. In county improvement data in the county data completed county improvements. So if it's going to go through every county improvement and it's going to look for if the county improvement data faction resource type is equal to research. So if it produces research, then let's do this. Go through every county data that is built, and if it produces research, then add it to the list, to the assignable researcher list. And it looks like we can do this. Oh, shit. We need a county population in there, huh? Okay. We're going to add item county improvement data name. Improvement name. Get this shit out of here. And then this is their current activity. We don't need that. I just had a thought of like other things we're going to need on this list. We need the county that it's in. We know the county, it's from the county data. So let's start with county data, county name, then a colon, and then we'll bring this down in here, and that way we know it's the. So now we got a problem. This assignable researchers is only set to people. We need to be able to change that, and there is a weird way. I guess it's not weird. It's weird to me. This is a list of county population. I think we can actually make it a list of. What do we do with this list? This is why I put these silly things in, is because they make me laugh later when I forget about it. The ass researcher. I was thinking maybe we change this to an object. I put that in quotes because I guess, I don't know what it's, a game object, a C# object. It's some sort of object. But I think what we're going to want to do instead. So what is all this crap doing? We have this is all GD print stuff of who's getting assigned or whatever. We're passing in this ID is from, this is from a signal. It passes in an ID, and we're getting that ID from this list. We're using that list so that when we click on this thing, this ID is 0, and that's how it's getting this thing. That's how it passes this shit in. So when we click on the person, it's assigning. Yeah, it assigns this researcher here. And then what does it do? it assigns to the researcher the current research item, which is good. Assigned reacher, okay, that's just a GD print. Generate assigned researchers, and that's a thing that affects this top thing up here when they're assigned. I think it immediately generates these things. And then we have a thing over here. Bobby White is now researching. And then it clears that list. There's a lot of GD prints going on in here that have been here for quite a while. Okay, so I think we're going to do a public class of some sort. I think that's the plan here. How will we do this? So it can only be a county improvement, or, I mean, I guess the other way we could do it. We do know who works there. I mean, we should know who works there. We could put their name on there. We could say, it's be kind of confusing though. Let's go back to here. So if we just had someone's name, Fred Smith, over here, and what they're researching, you wouldn't actually be able to tell if you were clicking between these two which one Fred Smith is in, because you'd have to look over here. You'd have to click again to figure that out. So we would need to expand that thing to say their location too, because the county improvement does know who works there. So that is one thing that we added a while ago that's actually paying off again here. I had a feeling it would, but I wasn't 100% sure. Sometimes it feels kind of like, this is just a way to make the program work for now, but I guess this is paying off. So we could do that I think that's probably the best way. So we will leave this as assigned researchers. Where was I with this thing? Yeah, we need to do this. So what we would do here, we would go, what is it? It's like people at there it is, county population at improvement. This would work for, this is going to kind of work here. County name, county, no spaces, that seems right. Then we would go squigs, county improvement data, it's this thing. Let's make this go down here though. First name. And I guess we need it to be last name too. This is quite long. We probably need to translate this or something too, just to make it more confusing. So that actually will work, I think, for this. Fingers crossed for this assign part. The problem is I just hard-coded in that there's one person only. There's something something is gone. We're missing a thing here. Um, Got our namespace in there. For each, here it is. And then let's hope that was it there. For a second, I thought we were in deep shit there. Oh, this is that same thing that I can't figure out why. I think that's what that is. That bug. I should give it a name. The annoying bug. Research. Okay, that did not work because we don't have one built. We don't have one built. Just have to wait for a second here. Portland researcher's office. So that works, except the things are all off. We should also add Jennifer Green. We should put where they are too. I'm going to take a quick early break here. I'm going to leave that up. I'm going to pause the music you guys can't hear, and I'm going to put on my break timer. I will be right back, hopefully. All right, I made it back. Almost didn't. Um, and now, of course, my cord is wrapped up in something there. There we go. Uh, all right, let me turn my music on that you guys can't hear. And let's see, what are we doing? I was just thinking while I was outside, there's a better way to do this. We want to add this in here. Then we want to go another for each inside of here. And we go for each county population. Right now, the first researcher's office, the first researcher's office only can allow one person, but I want to have upgrades to it so there'll be more than one person working there. So that was actually like a thing. I was like, the thing I was saying with the hard coding. This is all going to change actually. And I think we instead of this add item button, we should make this a method, and we'll just pass in the information instead of having multiple copies of the same crap. So let's do this here. Let's write this as a method. We'll say add researcher to menu. I feel like I already have that. And we're going to need to pass in a county improvements and county improvements data. Oh, wait, I'm not in the right spot for this. We're going to pass in a county improvement data, and we're going to pass in a county population. Yeah. And then we're going to generate this thing. And I don't know what I just selected. I hope I selected the right thing. I did. Then we're going to copy this down to here. And we're going to go in here. County data. We could pass in a county data. Do we know what county data? We do way up here. I guess out of laziness, we could pass in a county data. We could also pull the county data from here. County data again. County data, county data, and then we want the county name with a colon. Maybe we'll do a dash. Maybe let's start with the person's name actually. Yes, and we're actually going to rewrite this whole thing here. So let's start with the person's name. County population, first name, space, county population, last name, and then we got a space in there. We got a plus at the end. Then we're going to add in, I think a dash will actually look better. Let's put this space here though and move this. Okay, there wasn't a space there. The county name, and then do we need the county improvement name? I think it would be nice to have it. So let's do, and this is going to be county population. This is going to be gone. This is going to be like this. So what we'll do is this, and then we'll say if, do we really need the county improvement? Let's not put in the county improvement. We'll see how it works long term. And then we'll get rid of this. And then we'll go up to here. We'll put in, what was the other thing we needed? County data here. And then let's see how this works. This one will adjust after we do this little test here. We have to build the county improvement first, though. I don't think I have a button that's built in already that makes the county improvement already be built. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It takes a couple of days, 2 or 3 days. Researcher's office has been completed. Oh, we need the activity. So the reason why we have an activity on the hero is so we can know if they're, what they're doing. So just in case they're doing something and you don't want to interrupt what they're doing. And that actually put them up here correctly. So some stuff was written nice. That kind of makes it seem like we'd want the county improvement. I wonder, maybe we don't need to worry about what their activity is. I'm trying to think, like maybe they're moving was my fear there. Like this hero's moving now. They're not even on the list, so I don't think we need to, I think they have to be idle, if I remember how I did it before. So we're just gonna delete this shit and go. I don't know what's freaking out over there. Add researcher to menu. Perfect. And then we'll try this again. Make sure that this is working. No endless mystery bugs. I think they're going okay. The beginning, like I didn't really think too far ahead before I started streaming. So I except for like 5 minutes before, and I was like, holy shit, this is gonna be a lot of stuff. But yes, no mystery bugs where I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then having to go. And then those, and like this is working because of past things. Whoops. Like little things are working. So yes. So I think I'm overthinking this. Like I'm worried about stuff that doesn't really matter right now. I think I do that a lot. I should start drinking again, then I don't have to worry about anything. So Jessica Parker and Anna Collins. Anna Collins is working here. Jessica Parker's a hero. I mean, that works. Let's make sure that when we assign them, so Anna Collins is up here. Normally we uncheck this and it takes them off of the list. But I think what we need to do is make it so you can't uncheck them if they're working at a research office. The hero, yes, but the people at the research office, no. So that's under here. So this is where it generates those things. I bet you we have this. We have, there's a prefab scene here. Somewhere, UI scenes. Oh, maybe we do have them research stopping when they research. Oh, this isn't what I wanted. This is what I wanted. So this all, we don't have anything that controls that little checkbox, but we have a checkbox right here, and we have a county population which is getting assigned. So what we'll do is if, what the fuck is that? If, oh, I'm not in anything. We don't have like on a visibility change. I wonder how I think we're probably instantiating this, but let's see here. What we can do actually is right here is what we would do if the county population is working at an research office, then their button, then their, I guess, yeah, button can't be removed, can't be, button is disabled, so they can't be removed from the research. So this is where we're going to do this. We're going to say, I guess we'll put it actually down here. And we'll say if research button county population, whoops, I have a comma in there. So there's ways we could do this. We could check their activity, and if it equals work, then we know. But there is a long time ago, and I keep bringing it up and then never doing anything about it. I'm thinking about having it so your heroes can work like at buildings and stuff, so you can help with production or whatever. And currently that just doesn't happen. It's not even a part of it at all. So we probably don't want to do that. So the other thing we could do is we could check the county population, and if they're not a hero, I think that's probably, what did I do here? It needs to be saved for some reason. Is hero equals false. The only way they can get in there is if they're a hero. Then we would go research button, checkbox, whatever it's called, disabled equals true. And now let's see what that does. Yeah, programming is weird. And I mentioned this last weekend too. I haven't really been feeling it that much lately. And I started streaming my other channel less, but then I like sit here and I don't have anything to do. Like, might as well. Um, but then I also like having nothing to do sometimes. I think it's going to go in waves, uh, where I want free time and then sometimes I don't want free time. Just part of life. I really wish I could not work. That's what I would like, is to not work. Uh, all right, the research office has been completed. We can go over to our research, go to basic here. We can assign Frank Green, and then we cannot get him out of here, which is what we wanted. Let's see what Dennis does though. Dennis is, and we can unassign him. Now I think we had a thing. Let's assign Dennis back here. I think we had a thing where if we started moving the person, it automatically took them off. It did, and it didn't. We can't move, but Frank Green can't move, so that actually all worked perfectly. We just got to assume there's going to be a ton of bugs at some point. It will all implode. So that actually was a couple of different things that kind of went smoothly. Assign a research to the research office, which is what we just did. So we don't do it through the research office. We do it through the research panel, which I think is better. Otherwise, we'd have to have this huge list. And I always bring up the new Distant Worlds where they have this huge list for research, and like they didn't have a scroll bar. I don't know if they currently do. But I need to put a note in so that probably under county improvements, in the research office county improvement, we need to show what it is researching. I think we probably need to do that. It seems like if you're looking at your county improvements, it would be nice, if you're over here and you're looking at these, it'd be nice to know what the fuck's like what this person's. We have a worker, but we would be nice to know what they're researching. I don't think that will be the end of the world. There was another thing I thought of. We also I have an alert somewhere, and one of these is alerts or something. Event log. I think we wanted an alerts. Alerts. When a hero is idle. When a research office is idle. So your research office gets built, you forget to assign a research to it, 6 months pass, you wonder why you're not getting any research. We're gonna have an alert that says, hey, you got somebody fucking sitting around. Because that's gonna require human intervention for that one. That's the whole kind of the point of a research office versus this other type of research we're gonna do, which is gonna be a huge thing. But when a research office is allowing the player to get some more choices for research. You missed some typing. A few, what are they? Effin and Jeffins? That's it. I think that was it. Okay, let's go back to my list here. So I'm looking at GitHub. All right, so we have this in. Sort of. I think I'm going to move this to research because we don't have anything else that generates county level, or sorry, faction level resources. And I'll put a note in here. This is in research because we need another county improvement that generates faction resources. I don't know what it would be. Some sort of government building, some sort of government building for influence. And what else? Have the option to decide which research they're helping on depending on work and their special. So there's kind of already a work one. When someone is it used to be preferred work, but I don't want to do that way anymore. When someone is assigned to the research office, they also need to stop working. This is a thing down here. Each person hero should research what skill they are using. Unless they're idle, then it should be a random research item. Heroes may research other things like elitism. This should be done when their jobs are getting checked at the end of the day. So these are kind of the same, similar things. So we need to add a whole new thing in here called interests. For the county population, and there's a whole thought process behind it. So this is back to that thing, Lord Mac, where I was saying I didn't really think this through much. I've had this plan for interest, like I've known that, like this, I don't know, whenever I put this in here, is there a date on here? Like a month. Almost June, July, we're in 2 months. 2 months ago, I was like, yeah, we need to have interest. And so but I haven't really thought much about it. And then like 5 minutes before I started streaming, I was like, yeah, what are we doing with this interest thing? I was like, oh my God, that's going to be so much work. But it's the next step. So got to do it. So I think this is the way we should do interest. We should have, once again, like another enum, because I can never get enough enums. And the enum, let's go with this stuff with our 3 examples here. There'll be an enum that these things will be like kind of grouped. They'll be grouped together. And I'm going to say an example, but that has nothing to do with the game or with how the game works. But let's say it was geology. Their interest would be geology, and then like mining would be a geology thing. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Enums are great. I don't know why. I'm glad this chat has mentioned in the past has said like, oh yes, they are, and so I like the what is that? What do they call that? The support. That's not the word I'm thinking of, but that other people also love enums. So we're gonna need interests. We could, it just dawned on me. Their interests could be based on an attribute. Because the skills are grouped by attributes. So we can say that their interest is intelligence. And then that would, the research would, this research, I know it says research, but this research office would be an intelligence-based, it's got a skill. It's not a skill data, though. It's just an enum. But we could put an attribute, we could assign an attribute to the research, each research item. And then like if we're using, I know that there's so many, the word research is used here 45 times as I'm trying to explain this because let's do production instead. Well, I was thinking maybe we don't even need interests. We just use attributes. Some are combos. There could be, I'm looking at production, and production would be weird because production has 3 different things. That's 2. 3 different things. Fishing gardening and lumberjacking. I think that those have different. I mean, we could look at them right in here. This is oh, I guess it's under skill. Can I look at this skill? I cannot. That's an enum. Um, yeah, like this one's agility, and that's physical strength. So that wouldn't really work either. So I guess we will have to group them by something, by interest. And what it would do, in fact, maybe, so we have the interests. I'm trying to think of a good example. I don't want to say reading. Reading? Your interest would be, so the let's do production. That's an easier thing to think about here. Your interest would be, I guess production would be the thing. I was going to say manufacturing. I'm thinking. I'm not just spinning around in my chair here. I am also just spinning around in my chair. Because I think we're going to have to do combos of stuff. So like looking at production right here, if we said the interest was production, but if we also so this is why we're doing these interest-based things, is that when people work on something, they're going to give throw a small bonus of what to research, and so you'll get stuff researching that no one's assigned to. It will just be what they like, what they're interested in. But let's say someone's interested in gardening. That should apply to this production thing. It is, and that's another but the thing is, if you like lumberjacking, if your interest was botany, you're gonna know more about trees than and that would help you actually with lumberjacking. If you don't know anything about a tree, you read enough and hitting it with a baseball bat, trying to get it, punching it. So what we'd want to do is have interests that are combo interests. We'd have to have an array of interests, which isn't the end of the world. But we gotta figure out what the interests are first, the basics of the interest. And it could be stuff like botany, biology, like that type of stuff, politics. Researching would be, I don't know what researching would be. That would be information technology. What is it? What's library? What's librarians? What is that category? It is something like, it's not IT, it's something else. Library, school, library, no, school, library science is what it's called. What is library science? Like a higher, whoops, library science. Library and information science. Engineering for that? Yeah, I don't know. Is that engineering? Swinging an axe? Oh, they do have information technology in here. I was just trying to think of research. What would, let's see, a research degree in real life is all going to be okay. Maybe yeah, a relevance with your topic. And researching research needs to be something book learning. You know what though? Now that I think about this, oh, that's a good point. Transporting of the trees is a huge part of it too. That's like half. That's like 3/4 of the battle. Of once the tree's on the ground, you got to move it around. I don't know why I think about this all the time, and I can just look it up. In fact, I'll look it up right now. How I think about this, like I wonder about this all the time. How was wood transported by ship in the good old days? Um, let's ask ChatGPT. How was lumber transported by ship in the good old days? It is, yeah, it's very different. See, this is the question. So this is why I think about the wood thing. Wood is so fucking heavy and it's so large. Like it feels like you wouldn't be able to make any money doing it in the like the sailing age. That's why I think about this all the time. Um, like if you have these big, like think of like trees in Northern California. You got these gigantic trees. I mean, you'd have to cut them down to like lumber. You couldn't just send a tree itself, like a log, across the ocean back to England or wherever. You'd have to process it first, and I guess that once it's processed, it's not that big of a deal. Um, but it just feels like it wouldn't be worth the money. That's like I just like every time I think about it, I'm like, I don't like the amount of effort. You'd really need some trees wherever you were taking it to. I would like to see a picture. That's what I'd like to see. I mean, there's some logs are like, you know what I mean? Like it's so cumbersome because if you wanted it long, otherwise you'd have to cut all these short pieces. I don't know. It's like blows my mind that the price would be worth moving trees. Bottom left. That's a truck though. What is that thing? Three. That's that might have been what made me start thinking about it. What is this thing? Oh, this is just a giant boat. Giant boat. Wait, what about this? No, that's just a cargo ship made of wood. Whoops. I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating the value of wood. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's much more valuable than I think because I'm in the Pacific Northwest where there's wood everywhere. But if you wanted to take it to Southern California, that would be probably much more valuable. Um, and they float it down the rivers, and they got the guys on the logs. Historic logging transport. That's a good idea. Historic logging transport water. Um, ocean. Uh, this is like a scan of someone's book. I was hoping we would see a picture. Okay, what's this? Okay, wait, what's this? But is this in the ocean? This is on Facebook? Um, I bet you this is how they did. But in the ocean? What is this thing? I mean, obviously the things float. Yeah, I think these are like in rivers or something, though. Yeah, that's on the Columbia River. Railroads? Hmm. Maybe it wasn't worth it until, a certain level of technology. See, what I'm imagining is like a ship like this. Like imagine like these big long beams on the top. Um, and that just seems ridiculous in my mind every time I think about it. Like, and once again, for the value of what the wood you're getting, because the shit's heavy as fuck too. I guess, and that does depend on the type of. Yeah, yeah, and the masts are in the way. Yeah, and it does depend on the type of wood, obviously. Um, certain wood's heavier than others, but I mean, you'd want to be bringing the most valuable wood where you're going. But then you think about like Oregon's, it was wood was their thing, but I don't know if they were probably moving it by train though. And then why train? Trains are I feel like are less efficient than boats, but I guess that's probably not true either. And at that level of technology, that's not really what I'm thinking about. Um, well, yeah, and that's true too. There's also like wood that is really valuable, and that makes sense. But then once again, if you chop it shorter, you can't use it for certain stuff. And so maybe it's better if they like once again, this is like old timey days. They create the finished product out of the wood and they ship whatever chairs all around the world, not the logs. I don't know why I think about that all the time. Because I'm always imagining these giant like ship. Yeah, I think my question is too broad. I need to like narrow it down. Um, be like, how did England transport shit or trees to France? Like it's because it's um, in 1250 because it's probably wildly different depending on each level of technology. And it's also like that thing I was talking about the other day where like um, in my anthropology class I asked if they were using these things as container, like if these big heavy pots were what they were trading, or if they were just containers where they would carry the stuff there and pour it out. And they don't really know, but they would assume that like the container was also part of the trade. So maybe like they were like, uh, the only reason you'd want logs this long is if it was turned into a ship, so that you would just make the goddamn ship at the starting point, sail it there, and sell it. Like something like that. So yeah, and unimportant for this whole thing. Um, yeah, so like how are they doing it? I wonder because maybe little pieces of wood. They're like joining them all together, and I feel like that would be bad, but maybe that's how it works. Uh, All right, which is unrelated at all to what we're doing here. So back to our interest thing. Let's do some broad interests. Let's just like start this rolling here with our enums. HIJKL. We've got a thing here. This is supposed to be alphabetical. I kind of half-assed it, maybe. Interests. Public enum interests. And we're going to have to put in. So I don't know if they should be like types. Well, so there's two different types of research. You're gonna get research from your work too, from what you're doing, and then an interest one. I wonder if it should be like categories like you would, college categories like, biology and stuff like that, or if it should just be, let's look at the three things. We got to make these three things fit in here anyways. Information technology actually kind of works for research, but this is what I had the epiphany about. The research office is actually information technology would, I don't think that's going to make sense to people. Engineering would actually be it. And then production, it wouldn't matter. You can have like a bunch of different things in there. Well, yeah, the part of it is, this isn't like they're learning this from scratch. They're learning it from their past lives and stuff too. That's why there is this bonus applied anyways. I mean, in general, not anyways. All right, so we know that we want production. We'll use it like subjects, botany, biology, engineering, definitely engineering. I think I'm just going to put information in here. Medicine is a good one, but that's part of biology. Is biology too broad? So to explain this a little more too, is we're gonna have like a ton of research. So they're only gonna research their interests, and basically it's just gonna be so we want it somewhat broad, for this particular type of research. But I don't know, is biology too broad? I'm gonna put a note in here. Maybe medicine is biology too broad? All right. Does that cover everything we got of our current three? I don't know. Information warfare? That's that's an important one, because that is a thing that I want them to have. Because we haven't gotten to any of those yet, but we are going to have all sorts of, I mean, this list that we have over here somewhere is quite long and getting longer. Um, okay, so that's a good one because there's also that's another thing that I need to add in here. Um, so how are we going to do this? The idea is that certain people, I think humanities. I want to look what this covers. I don't know what we got there. This study of humanities can be broad. Applied humanities. I want like a breakdown. What is the careers you get out of humanities? Humanities actually might be the thing, the actual exact word that I'm. So that's what I'm like trying to think of. Like, does politics kind of fall into that? So one of the things, once again, back to like these people like trickle researching stuff. I want some of the research to be somewhat bad. Um, not, and when I say somewhat bad, like one of the main things is that I have thought of so far is that heroes that when you hire like a second hero, they're gonna start researching. They're basically just thinking about it. Um, and I suddenly can't remember the word, but I have it in here. Elitism. So they'll start being, and then once you've researched elitism, and once again, it's going to be quick because this is like you thinking about it more than just like sitting down and writing about it or reading books about it. It's going to kick off a thing where your additional, not your faction leader, but your other heroes are going to want more stuff. So that's why I was like deep thinking about humanities here. I don't know if that's is politics apply to that? Does humanities apply to, let's just put it, whoops, except elitism in humanities? What do we got here? What is this, a video? Oh no. It's crazy to me that they have all these scans of books that aren't OCR'd. That seems like that. Politics. We could listen to a podcast. Here we go. Wiki was probably where I should have been going in the first part. Okay, so humanities might be, we might want a separate thing that is like, that's like politics or something. OCR, it stands for character recognition. The O is, I don't know. But it's where like you can take a scanned in thing and it converts the scan to text like this instead of an image. OCR, the O stands for optical character recognition. Okay, so humanities definitely, because we also want people to like have art and stuff. So humanities, and then politics, I think is going to be a different thing. Some definitions of humanities encompass law and religion due to their shared characteristics, such as study language and cultures. However, these definitions are not universally accepted, as law and religion are often considered professional subjects rather than humanities subject. Political science is probably, I don't want to get it too like college class. Like, I don't want to be like locked in too much with the college class college degree type things. Yeah, and this person's only interested in um, underwater basket weaving. That used to always be the joke, at least when I was thinking about going to college. Uh, I let's put politics in here though. Okay, so that's enough for us to work with. I still can't. Medicine probably should be its own thing, but we don't need it right now. We actually only need a couple of these. So we have our interest, and then each county population will have one interest. We would all be very boring people if we only all had one interest in real life. Imagine if that's how it was. Like, nope, don't know anything about that. All right, but we'll make it their primary interest. We'll just say interest. Um, so we're going to attribute skills. All right, Lord Mac, have a good rest of your day. I'm about to call it a day too. Um, let's see. Work, skills, attributes, loyalty, expendables, perks. Let's put it down by our preferred skill. We will put interest here, all enums. Interest. Okay. And then, I mean, it's not really a skill, but that's where we'll put it. So then under our population generation, we actually need to add that in there too. We need to add to this constructor. Once again, I don't know why this is the one that has a constructor and none of the other ones do. This is a public class, though, is probably why. This one's special. And I could have done the control period thing. Interest. And then I'm waiting for it to auto-populate for me, but it didn't want to. All right, so this has the constructors all set up. Then we should have two bugs come up here. Did I not save this? No, it's saved. There we go. So in here, we're going to need a new. You know what I'm going to do, actually? Yeah, no, I will leave that. I guess I will leave that in there. I was thinking about taking some of those, like commenting out some of them just for now so that for the testing, it will be easier. But I don't think it actually matters that much. So we will do. We need a new method. I know what's going on here. I think this is just some I'm just going to get rid of it. We're going to need a new thing that is going to be a private. It's going to return all enums, interests, and we're going to go generate interest. And then we're going to go random. Yep. And then we're going to go. We need all enums. Actually, can we just do this? I think we can just. we can just do this where I go. I did this the other day and I was like, why haven't I been doing this a long time? I always make its own variable like this and then apply this stuff, but I actually think you can just put some of these all in one line. So if we go return, oh, we still do it. We do have to do this though. Let go all enums, I think. Interest, and we'll just do it like this. We need random next 0 all enums interests length. Can we get the length of an enum? I don't know how to do that. I would like to, whoops, I guess I closed ChatGPT. ChatGPT, I would like to get the length of an enum. How do I get, it's probably length of an enum. It's like, what are you talking about? Get values. No, sorry, a public, yeah, it does, that's where it's a public, this thing. It's giving me the length, like this length, the length of that. I mean, I want the count or length of this. It's like, oh, you mean, oh wait, is it the same? I guess it was, I thought it was talking about a type T. I guess I don't need main in here. Actually, this is all I need. It's just this line. Come here, line. And this, we'll do that, and then we'll go enum length. See, this, it doesn't, that's an int. We need a, we need this. Wait, we need, my brain suddenly just stopped working. I was doing okay all morning, and then suddenly it just like, nope, you're done for the day. Well, I'm going to finish this one thing. I only have 9 minutes left of normal streaming, but I should just have asked it right from the beginning. I just want a random one of these. I want a randomly picked one of these enums. That's all. I should have just asked that from the beginning. And then it would have just written the goddamn code for me. And I could have lazily copied and pasted this. This is kind of interesting. This is not what I was expecting, but let's put this actually in all enums here. Enum, randoms. So then from here, yeah, this is static. I can go over here, wherever the fuck I am. I can go all enums. What was that thing called? Get random enum value. What do you want me to put in there? Is this returning something? It's returning T? What the fuck is T? I remember the first time I saw the T thing. This is like, years ago at this point. A couple of years, and it was like, it was like list T or whatever. And I was like, oh my, like, I had no idea what, like, was that a variable? What is it? Um, so it's returning this. Um, all interests enums. I gotta tell it that here, all enums interests. Interests. Thank you. I wonder why it doesn't need all. It doesn't. It acts like it doesn't want this one. Oh, I know why. It must have added this all need. Yeah, I was about to say there's something strange going on here. Um, so this one. There we go. Thank you, Win. Get. No, this is out of here. This is out of here. So now we can return an interest, and then we're just gonna put this thing somewhere. We need it to go under right after this, and we can copy this whole thing and put this. I hit Control B. Control B. Bold. I want a bold generate interest. All right. So now we'll have the interest will be generated, I hope. At the end of this, though, let's do a GD print just for testing. And we'll go county, we'll go squigs, we'll go $, squigs, county, population. Oh my God, county. Oh, this is being added right here. Directly in. That's why there was that weird thing that was down here. I guess we don't really care that much. I can just do this here. There should be a 500,000 of these things should show up when I run this. I just want to make sure they're different. They're not all the same one. Man, that agility bug that I noticed earlier where everything was defaulted to agility, if I hadn't noticed that, that would have been terrible. Like months from now, I would have been wondering what the fuck was going on, why everyone's roles were wrong. Look at all that. That looks great. We got botany, we got information. Maybe I should make it IT, even though it's because it kind of, information technology, that's what it is. It's an I don't know. Yeah, all right, so that worked. And I'm going to push this code to, what did we do today? Made it so that the research office actually generates research and dicked around. That's what I did today. Dicked around. Push this up to there. And that's it. And I am calling today. I'm going to definitely stream this tomorrow, and hopefully we'll get a little tiny bit farther. It's actually not. We're not that far from the push to main, I hope. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for jumping by. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good existence. Bye.